Now, we all know that Chloe and Halle Bailey are basically Beyoncé's musical daughters, right? They were signed to Parkwood earlier on in their lives and were mentored by the queen herself and her mother. And of course, this was just unreal, y'all.
Or from Beyonce and Tina knows, and when you feel like you're carrying on the legacy of all these women that have been the foundation for you.
I don't really process it, quite frankly. It's such a huge compliment. You know, B has always been such a huge inspiration to me. So for people to even say that that's the vibe they get from me is a huge compliment in itself, because she's a legend, she's an icon.
I mean, it's amazing to have support from both Tina and Beyonce, and a bonus sister like Blue Ivy. But apparently, word on the street is that Blue Ivy is not feeling that sisterly love at all. The thing is, Blue Ivy has grown up watching her mother pour millions of dollars, endless hours, and the ultimate industry cosign into Chloe and Halle's careers. And insiders are now spilling that Blue, who is literally the heir to the throne, might feel like the sisters have overstayed their welcome under the family umbrella. Child, not her getting territorial and stuff, but let's just look into whatever is allegedly going on. So, just for a bit of background, back in 2011, Chloe and her sister Halle went viral for their covers on YouTube and eventually got attention from mainstream media outlets. Specifically, the covers of Beyoncé's songs Best Thing I Never Had and Pretty Hurts got the attention of their future boss, Beyoncé, who signed them to a record deal after falling in love with their undeniable beautiful voices. The surprising thing is, most people believe that Chloe met Beyoncé after the song covers went viral on YouTube. But Beyoncé and Chloe actually met in 2003, and Beyoncé's mom, Tina, once shared a video of Chloe in the 2003 film Fighting Temptations, in which she starred as a younger version of Beyoncé's character. Well, eventually Beyoncé ended up signing both Chloe and Halle, but apparently, there are a few things that don't sit right with Blue as the years are going by, because she allegedly thinks they don't align with the family values. Based on reports, one thing that's definitely not sitting right with Blue is Chloe's general appearance. Y'all know that the internet constantly dissects Chloe Bailey's public image, which relies heavily on high eccentricity, hyper-sexualized marketing. And the allegation floating around is that Blue Ivy finds Chloe's branding cringe and completely unaligned with the pristine, untouchable standard her mother built. Rumor has it, Blue has voiced opinions that the look is diluting the Parkwood cosign, making it look less like an exclusive finishing school for icons and more like a standard Hollywood machine. Apparently, Blue allegedly resents the fact that Bey still has to play damage control or creative director for Chloe. She reportedly feels like when Chloe drops highly provocative content that riles up the traditional fan base, Beyoncé's team inevitably gets pulled in to protect the brand, and that is creating unnecessary PR fires that distract her mom. But that's not all. Allegedly, she also feels like the sisters, especially Chloe, have not been grateful enough for everything her mom has done for them. And this is where she's coming from. Remember when Chloe released her album In Pieces to the world featuring popular artists such as Chris Brown, Future, and Missy Elliott? The album debuted at number 119 on Billboard's 200 and only sold 10,000 copies during its first week, which was honestly shocking, considering she already has a large enough fan base from her time in Chloe and Halle, and she is backed by Beyoncé. Now, with the album's poor sales, some people said that it may have been due to the fact that the songs are far away from the original sound Chloe and her sister came out with when they first started singing. Of course, Chloe has mostly focused on delivering seductive performances over the last couple of years, and sensual covers she's posted on Instagram, and some feel as if she's leaning too much into the appeal of it all, and not what naturally makes her stand out, like her amazing vocals. However, on the other hand, there were people who said that Beyoncé didn't put any effort into promoting the album. I mean, for someone who signed Chloe and probably gave her so much hope, it didn't make sense that Beyoncé didn't even give a shout out on her stories. And guys were literally posting comments like, "Not to be funny, but I really want to know what was the point of Beyoncé signing Chloe? Like, was it for a look? So that someone could be under her? I don't get it. Cause how do you let your artist drop an album and you don't support it not once, and now she sold 10K? And another person said, Beyoncé literally hates her, LOL. Didn't do anything for the album, couldn't even give her a feature, and she's not even opening up for her during the tour. Chloe needs to leave that label. Apparently, at the time, the things Chloe said made it seem like she was siding with people who were saying that Beyoncé didn't put any effort into promoting her album, because she was just talking about how hard it was, how she felt alone in the process, and heavily emphasized her own solo hustle.
And they were saying Beyonce didn't post it, and because Beyonce didn't, everybody's into this, like if it's your birthday, nobody posts your birthday. It's the same thing. They said that Beyonce didn't post it, and people were talking about, how did that make you feel?
Of course, when people talk anything negative about me, it's gonna hurt my feelings, but I was like, at least they're talking, and at least people go listen to the project. And as much as people try to bring up numbers and things like that, I'm trending every other day.
Well, allegedly, from Blue's perspective, the narrative that Beyoncé did nothing for Chloe was not just a lie. It was the ultimate form of disrespect and biting the hand that feeds you. Based on reports, behind the scenes, she was talking about how Beyoncé didn't just sign Chloe and Halle, she gave them a global platform, put them on stadium tour opening slots, funded their creative endeavors for years, and lent them the unmatched prestige of the Parkwood cosign. So she didn't appreciate the subtle shade. To make matters worse, Chloe has actually even gotten Beyoncé into legal issues. Because not long ago, the label was facing a lawsuit for copyright infringement after songwriter Melvin Moore claimed Chloe Bailey, who is signed to the record label, used his work without permission in several of her songs. Melvin Moore claimed that he contributed substantial original lyrics, melodies, and creative direction to several master recordings in Chloe Bailey's second studio album, Trouble in Paradise, and he said that Chloe intentionally disregarded the DMCA cease and desist notice he issued her before promoting songs like Same Lingerie on her Instagram page. He even explained that his relationship with a woman inspired Same Lingerie, adding that he recorded the song's original demos based on the woman's hesitations and emotional struggles following a previous relationship, and demanded punitive damages of $5 million for each song he contributed to in the album. In addition, he also pursued compensatory and punitive damages for willful copyright infringement, fraudulent misrepresentation, and civil conspiracy. Basically, what he was saying was that Chloe wrongfully took credit for his contributions, falsely registered the works under their names, and profited from them across various revenue-generating platforms without his consent. Obviously, this was a really messy situation, and there were even reports that Beyoncé was infuriated at how things had gone out of control, because it was reportedly costing the label so much. Basically, these are just some of the things that Blue reportedly thinks are an unnecessary stress to her mom. And by the way, it's not just been about Chloe, because Halle is also out here doing the most. See, Halle was chosen by Disney to be Ariel in The Little Mermaid, and she was being positioned by her team, by Hollywood, and by Beyoncé as the next pristine A-list global superstar. But instead of moving like a quiet luxury superstar, she got deeply entangled with YouTuber and rapper DDG, who has embarrassed her more times than we can count. For instance, remember when DDG dropped that track, Famous, where he literally rapped about his own insecurities, throwing subtle shade at Halle for doing her job, and kissing her co-star in The Little Mermaid? Halle's fans were definitely not having it, and they were calling it a classic case of an insecure partner trying to dim a woman's light right as she's hitting her peak. And every time the public criticized their relationship, DDG was quick to run to social media, do Twitch streams, and get into back and forths with followers. Around that time, DDG also made a very weird comment about all girls being the same, and that very same month, fans alleged that DDG used a burner account to negatively comment and trash on The Little Mermaid. Honey, just when guys thought that it couldn't get messier, there were allegations that suggested that DDG was a control freak and even wanted to unalive Halle at one point. There were all sorts of drama involving his exes and a bunch of pseudo-accounts linked to him that were just posting the most insane things. And while he was doing all this, Halle was protecting and defending him. Well, Blue Ivy allegedly thought the entire DDG era was an absolute train wreck. Word on the street is that she couldn't stand how Halle let herself be dragged down into all that mess. She thought that for Halle to allow her name, her brand, and by extension the Parkwood name, to be dragged through messy internet gossip, public arguments, and low-tier celebrity drama was incredibly short-sighted. So guys, at the end of the day, for a girl who literally marched across global stadium stages with military precision at 11 years old, Blue Ivy allegedly has zero tolerance for anyone who doesn't respect the level of the stage they've been given. And according to insiders, she thinks that the Baileys might have the vocals but not the discipline to match the throne. I don't know, maybe Blue Ivy is being a little too much with the royal standards, but let me know what you think about her allegedly not being able to stand Chloe and Bailey in the comments.